Hello guys, my name is Safa Wasi and welcome to my channel. Actually, this is my first video that I'll be doing in my channel, and today the topic that I'm doing for my video is how to create login windows through Visual Basic. This topic is very common and you might even study when you go to like grade 10 or something, because that's the grade I am in. So I'm just gonna do it in a very simple way and teach you how to create login windows through Visual Basic. So let's just get started. So first off, we're gonna start by clicking the Visual Basic. We're gonna open our Visual Basic website app and we're gonna click New Project, and from Windows Form Application we're gonna save it as Login Windows, or any name that you'd like to save it as. Okay, just gonna get started. Okay, so here we are. This is this first form of our Visual Basic is designing the window. So we're gonna design our login windows and by the need of our toolbox. So for this design, we're gonna need two buttons. I'm gonna place it here. I'm gonna need two labels, and I'm gonna need two text boxes. That's where we'll write our actions. Okay, that's great. We're done. Now let's just label this. For label 1, I'm gonna name it username. Label 2, I'm gonna name it password. Button 1, I'm gonna name it login. And button 2, I'm gonna name it exit. Yep, great. So we're done with our form. If you want to name your form, you can do that, of course, since our topic is about login windows. Okay, so we're done with our design. Now we're gonna perform our actions. So basically, the first codes that we're gonna write is in the login, which is the button 1, because when we write our actions on the two text boxes, and when we click the button 1, that's where all the actions will be done. So we're gonna double click the login, and we're gonna start off by writing our codes, which is now this line means that if I write on the text box 1, which is this part, the username, if I'm gonna write my username as Safa, and I'm gonna write text box 2, which is the password section, as my password must be admin123 or any password that you'd like to put, then the message that should appear should be you are now logged in. So for that, I'm going to use the message box, double quotation. Don't forget the double quotation, since it's all words that we're using. So it's going to say you are now logged in, double quotation, ending. So this is our first code that we're gonna write, because this is our username and this is our password. The message should work. This code should work, actually. So how I did this is, after you finish the code, you just have to click this button right here, which says start debugging. So we're gonna click on that, and we're gonna see if our actions work or not. So on the username, as I wrote on my codes, the name should be Safa, and here it should be admin123. Let's click this, and it works. So the message that appeared as we wrote on the code is you are now logged in. So our first code works. Let's move on to the next code. Now, what if we do not have a username or a password? the message should appear no username and password found. So for that, we're gonna use else if to make it the other way around, which is text box 1.text is equals to just double quotations and text box we're gonna use double quotation here also. Then the message box must say double quotation no username and password found. Yep, this is what it should say. So let's see if it works. Since there will be no username and there would be no password, the message that should appear is no username and password found. Since we're gonna leave it blank and we're gonna see if it works, and it does, it works. No username and password found. So our second code works. Now let's move on to the next code, which is what if we have no username and we have a password? What should it say? So we're gonna use else if text box 1 dot text is equals to nothing. It's gonna leave it blank, and message box should appear no username found. Just how we do it when we use Facebook or Twitter, I mean, and if we don't have a username or a password, that's what it normally appears. So that's what we're learning today. Let's start debugging, and I'm gonna just write the password, and there would be no username, and it's gonna say no username found. Great, it works. Now we're gonna do it vice versa, which means we have a username but we do not have a password. So else if text box 2 dot text is equals to, we're gonna leave it blank, then message box should say no password found. Let's see if that works too. Let's start debugging. We're gonna have a name, but we're not gonna have a password, and it says no password found. So our fourth code also works. Now if we have both username as password but it's wrong, so what is it gonna say? So we're just gonna put else. That's it. We're not gonna put else if. We're gonna put else message box must say invalid username and password. We're gonna end it here, and this is our fifth code. Let's see if it works. We're gonna write wrong username, wrong password, and it says invalid username or password. So as you can see, all of our codes, it works perfectly. We have to make sure that we have the double quotations in every message box, and we have to make sure that everything is in its right position and correct spelling, because even one wrong move cannot make it work. The whole process will just go zero. So we're done for our login. We know what to do. Everything is gonna work. Now we're gonna do with our second button, which is exit. So we're gonna click on the exit because that's where we want to end it. So simply we'll just click the exit button and we're just gonna write end. That's it. We don't have to do anything else because we want the whole program to finish after all the process that we do. So we're gonna just click the start debugging. We're gonna write our username, admin, okay, we're done. And then we're gonna exit, and it works. We're done. When we click exit, it finishes the whole program. So that's all we need to learn today. That's all the things that you have to do when we create login windows. We're done for today. We learned how to design the login windows, to text box, to buttons, to labels. Then we know what to do for the codes. Everything is here. And when we want to end it, we're just gonna double click the exit, and we're just gonna write end, and the whole program works perfectly. So that's it for today. I really hope that it helped, and you can do it on your own, on your laptop or computer, your PC, and try it out. It really works very easily. And bye bye.